momentarily. Look at that JW taking it back, and Dennis, just when you think it's safe to take map control elsewhere, easy for Dennis.
So it looks like, unless Rubino can get another 3 kills, which doesn't seem like it's going to be an easy task, so fnatic may have done enough here. But I did like the opening from Dignitas in some respects. You know, it started out well. Okay, they're going to flash over, try to punish any CTs playing aggressively and get an early pick off, get the rush going. But then when that plan didn't work out, they didn't have a way out again. And fnatic realized that they had banana controls, so they were able to peek mid aggressively and get those long ranges. So it was just missing the plan B for me, really.
Yeah, it's also like a good setup from fnatic. Creams was basically in spawn with 2 flashes and a kit, and you could see as soon as they saw some contact, he flashed into pool. And now Dennis is dead.
He died.
That is insane. That is insane. I'm sure that was a one tap as well. That is crazy range. I've never seen that before.
One thing though is that you have to. Is there a need for such a push? When you know you're up against Tech Nines, and potentially there could be a Deagle in the mix.
Those are old school strats, man. But I've never on Inferno seen somebody get one tapped by Tech 9 when they're on the balcony during rush timings. That is quite something. Dignitas, Rubino, he needs to put this weapon to work now. Oh, I like that peek from the tees. That's pretty cool, especially if you have an AWP in pit. Something for those of you at home to try. JW stealing a kill. Will the Flames take Fox? Indeed, they will. Helpful for fnatic, but they're losing players. Olofmeister with 9 HP looking for a spray transfer. The M4's been dropped for now, but now there are 2 weapons collected. Flusher coming in with the UMP. We'll try to take these players down before they can get off the site. Very awkward stuff, getting his bell rung as well. And this round is collapsing for the CTs, or is it? Flusher manages to make it work.
Yeah, that was very nice incendiary, actually. Obviously taking one player down very, very, very low. Flusher always amazing with pretty much every single grenade. But yeah, that was a bit of a disaster. I mean, how do you feel about the M4 play there, Yanko?
I mean, it's not too bad because he probably had a good spawn. Only player with the M4 wants to utilize the long range, maybe get a cheeky kill or some info, but he got punished by the Tech Knights. And after that, Olof's play isn't really high value. I mean, that nade can bounce anywhere, and he got basically dinged down to 9 HP. And then it was actually Krims, the pit player, right? We were talking about it in the pre-game, and he just died and left Olofmeister by himself with 9 HP in the side. So in the end, Flusher bails them out with a 1v2. But fnatic can probably just be a bit more disciplined in their play. But it is fnatic, and it is still online, so gonna see things like this. Flusher's burning.
Oh, gotta be careful. They would have heard that as well, I think. 2 players already very low for fnatic. And indeed, that is a stylistic consideration of fnatic. They want to play aggressively. They like to take the aggressive options. They like to fight.
And also what's very interesting, I mean, for someone who maybe hasn't been following for a while, that, you know, we used to say in all iterations of fnatic, Inferno, City side, Olof and Krims, the brothers at the B bomb side. But with this lineup, they are very comfortable with actually switching things up, switching positions on the CT side. As you can see, it's Flush and JW who play B now. Olof and Krims are actually anchoring the A bomb side, even right now when they only have 2 players.
That's going to be tough for Olofmeister. Does give himself a 1 versus 1. In fact, 2 1v1s, which he'll win down to 1 HP, and he'll be able to escape into perhaps the embrace of Krims, but Krims is now very dead. So Olofmeister with 1 HP has to try to delay things as much as he possibly can. He doesn't really have any grenades to do that with, so it's a very difficult position. He knows he's going to likely die here, but that's a fantastic frag to make. He's done much more than his team could possibly have asked for him in that position. And they will survive with 3 players, which, after losing 4 in the previous round, I'm sure they'll be quite happy about.
I think this is another problem you have with new teams or mixed teams or teams playing with stand-ins at times. Dignitas was a bit too hesitant to just push onto the bomb site at that round. I mean, fnatic only had 2 players. Sure, Dignitas can't know it, but still, you are committed at that point. You have no more banana control. You need to try and push your way to the bomb site as fast as possible.
Nice. That is a nice opening kill.
And we'll see if that does change Yanko, but I guess that's always going to be something that happens if a team's not super comfortable with understanding like who looks where and so on in these fast situations. And looks like Dennis is going to be able to just poke his head out there, get 2 kills there to even things up a little bit. Dignitas, though, perhaps committed at this point to just hammer on through onto the B-bomb site. They've actually done so much damage if you consider that they've got no Kevlar. They've stolen away the 2 guns, and there is actually a player lurking in the A side of the map, which is Rubina, as we can see by the boiler area.
I find it really off-putting inspecting the deagle to shoot when the deagle was flying around all over the place. Just kind of put them tiny. Olofmeister holding things down. That's the bomb. With 40 seconds remaining, I think the question now is how much more damage can Fox do? Olofmeister's clearly taken a lot of damage, and he'll reposition and allow his teammates to pick up the slack. You see Crims moving into a second mid position to watch anybody moving up mid. Fox has already gone past, but now Olofmeister's watching the site.
Really is about the small things. I mean, the spacing from Dignitas going for that push, they didn't go in together, but I think this is where Olof will just get the kill. Okay, actually Fox going for the bomb plant. Is he gonna make it? Nope, no time at this point. The Crims gets the kill. Problem is also Crims didn't have the timing to go for that push. And you're 3v1, why do you feel the need to go full aggressive and try to cut him off? If Fox gets that kill on Olof, then maybe he gets the bomb down and has a chance to win the round. But another thing I want to mention, when it was actually a 3v3, the fact that Rubino is in boiler really means a lot, because if he was in banana with the rest of the players, then they would be unsure if someone was aggressive from the CTs. It would be much more difficult for them to check all the spots. And they actually had a good chance in that 3v3, but didn't really play it properly from that point on. And now they have yet another gun round to play with.
And the ops out on JW. You can see he's already been, I was going to say naded, but his life is now forfeit. Tensky will shoot him straight in the face. And this is something we've been seeing from Dignitas in their previous games with this lineup, that you do actually have to watch out for some of the crazy shots that they're able to consistently pull off, as well as deagling. Croman, for example, has gotten a lot of value out of the deagle fairly consistently in the previous matches we've seen of them. So a one-man advantage for Dignitas.
Flusher has dragged the AWP back to the coffin's position, so he can pick up the M4 should the players come. The M4 is right next to him, so if they start smoking and so on, he can just hold construction of the M4 instead. Always nice when you've got the options available to you, so another smart play from Flusher. Throw a pop flash as well, just to delay and deter Dignitas, and indeed it is 4 key players towards the A-bomb site. Olofmeister with a lovely spray through the smoke. Not much Dignitas can do about that. Moving around to apartments now, but we've got Crims in the pit.
But the CTs are ready with their crossfires, so equalizing things. Olofmeister actually going out for some information. Picks himself up a kill as well. The majority of Dignitas going through quad sides, so there's no one to trade for that one. Putting fnatic in a fantastic position, because look at Olofmeister, he just wraps right around the back, and it's as though they have no idea this is happening, and he pretty much kills the entire team, or what was left of it. Crims to finish things off, but ballsy stuff from Olofmeister.
Yeah, but honestly, it's just very poor CS from Dignitas at this point. It's not even like that bad to stop after Olofmeister gets that first kill, but then you just need to hold your positions. If they did that, they would have punished him for that push, but he actually just keeps pushing and gets 4 kills, shooting people in the back pretty much. Again, Dignitas being too hesitant. They even had a man advantage, 5v4 situation. Just go in as a unit. You're gonna have mostly at most three players on that A bomb site. Get in, use your utility, and try to get those trades. They were too slow, too worried about all the angles, and they just got shot in the back by Olofmeister.
Oh, out of there.
But one thing, if nothing else from this round, at least Dignitas have scouted out the double AWP. And we'll have to see if they can get any kills here. You can see they're going to try to perhaps rush down the AWPer. Good counter grenades though to prevent that from happening. And now they've got no grenades, and they have to try to move into these long-range positions against the AWPs. Not going to be too easy, as you can see. JW able to get himself a second kill now.
buying himself some time. Flusher was out of position to support, but he's here now. Only good for the 1 kill. Molotov on the site, but JW's got 4 HP. Buying more time for his team, but he finally will go down, leaving Fox alone with the bomb. And before he could get his reload in, olofmeister will clean things up. 2 players down for fnatic in that round.
The problem is Dignitas is a team that really can get decimated by the double op, because you really, the way you fight double op as T on Inferno is you go for an execute heavy playstyle, more explosive, fast paced. You don't want to give the op opportunity to re-peak and to get multiple kills. So maybe put a lot of pressure towards Banana and then just go for a full-on B execute after you take control. Or you just die to the op.
Or you scamble it all as you die to the orbs, try to trade it. They actually managed to trade it this time, but the smokes start to come into play. Orb has been collected, but Dennis going aggressive in boiler there. Looks like fnatic wanted to make a play to take over apartments, and it's not gone so well for them. They don't necessarily know about Crims, that is, Dignitas. Let's see if Crims can get any value out of that position. Obviously, only 1 player towards that position as Dignitas want to go into B and leave 1 lurker towards the A side of the map. Crims, he may have an idea about it, but it's really all about JW's ability to hold on to the position of B should Dignitas actually decide to go for the rushdown. They have all the grenades to work with. JW's not in a position where he'll get isolated by smokes. Might be able to get a shot off, and then they'll have to play retake 3 versus 4 if he misses.
If they launch a flashbang over the roof, they should flash him from his position, no problem. JW rotating away now. Often you'd put the extra man on the B-bomb site when it's sub 40 seconds. So fnatic have made a mistake this time. olofmeister getting taken down, and JW's trying to keep hold of construction. See if he can stop the plant as well. Going for the wall bang, but he's going to be in trouble. Oh, the edge, the barrel of the gun gives Fox away, and now things are getting really awkward. There's the M4 finally, but he can't win the duel. Rubino to take him down.
You can see that Dignitas expects and understands that fnatic is a very aggressive team on the CT side. They're rarely going to play passive, even in a 3v3 situation. And that's why they waited so long. Jaken waiting in window room, expecting someone to push. Players outside Banana expecting someone to be flashed in. And once that didn't happen, they did a small fake by Jaken towards A, just pushed in together as a unit without throwing the utility, which is interesting. They didn't want to give away the fact that they're trying to go B.
And a fast play for control on Banana from Dignitas goes very, very well. Picking up a kill in Banana and as well as JKM in apartments. So loads of space here for Dignitas. Obviously the buy sucks for fnatic. So Dignitas have a really good opportunity here, and it's sort of, again, with fnatic style, live by the sword and die by the sword insofar as they play aggressively, and there's been a lot of rounds in which they may have been able to conserve more money by playing more of a passive play style and not risking their players as much as they have. Because as you can see, it just takes 1 round. Oh, what is this? No, surely not. Oh my goodness, olofmeister's not able to get the first kill immediately, but somehow able to finish it off in the end. Now it's a 3 versus 3. Perhaps it's doable. JKM with the flank, though, could really put a wrench into the works. Or maybe not. Dennis ready for that.
Only 2 players left for fnatic in this. What's other than a 5 versus 3. Nice no scope from Fox. Communication wasn't there fast enough, and the Croman and Fox will clean up. But I thought fnatic were crazy going for that, but they almost made it look easy. 5 versus 3, and no one's looking at Banana. I think maybe it's because Jacob's position in boiler.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. They were expecting him to cover the flank for them. olofmeister sneaks in, gets 2 kills, and olofmeister at that point can give the call. Okay, so no one was watching Banana. I probably managed to slip through somehow, so someone's flanking you, and that's why Dennis was waiting for Jacob. And at that point, it got a bit scary for Dignitas during a 2v3, but good clutch play from Fox and Croman. Another thing is, when you're fnatic in a game like this, you know you're the favorite. Not just that, you know, also the Dignitas is like basically a mixed team still at this point, so you are going to play with more liberties than usual and are going to be a bit reckless, and I would expect them to continue doing so until they probably until Dignitas gets closer in terms of score. Like if Dignitas wins the next gun round as well, that's where probably fnatic kind of, you know, steps up.
Well, this should be easy for Dignitas in this round. They only have the PT50s to worry about, and there's only 3 of those. Nothing else, to be honest, of the worth on fnatic, except players and good positions. So as long as dignitas use their grenades well, it should really be quite easy, but you never know with rounds like this. First kill comes in from Chroman, and there's another nice one as well. Oh, all right, Jacob, that is your teammate. Need to calm down a little bit, and it will just be one player dying, which was, of course, a team kill. Nice.
A lot less AWPs for fnatic in this particular round. Often you'll find a T side, just stick one person towards the B bomb site. Cloud9 comes to mind, but dignitas using a numbers game to overwhelm fnatic. We'll see if that continues and how fnatic's approach towards Banana will change without Orcs in tow. Still going to have these initial grenades, but there's a huge gap in the grenades, and then that gap will be double naded by the CTs. Oh, there we go. So that's why there's a gap in that. They're quite aware of that, and it's costing dignitas one play. And IJW, his position won't be expected. How many kills can he get? Just the one. So that's to be bomb site open, but will dignitas pursue?
I feel like it's slightly unlucky for JW to die immediately there. It's quite a cool play, of course very risky. And speaking of cool plays, here Jacob getting very quickly up to the arch side position. They weren't expecting that one, and that's good for a one-for-one trade. And that's going to be quite favorable for dignitas. Starting to rush down. The alone Crims, who's weakened as well, down to 20 health. Really, it should be very hard for Crims to hold on to this, and he will get caught out there as the smoke is used to Tensky's advantage. And now olofmeister in the clutch scenario. Perhaps a bit further up than they expect, though.
What's the pair on balcony? Double Molotovs. That's going to push him away. Now, bomb needs to get planted. Tensky looking towards Arch. I suppose he could rotate there. Sees the trajectory. There's one person on site, but he doesn't know that 2 are. And Fox is enough, shooting him through the pillar, I presume. Another round for dignitas, and now indeed the score is getting tight.
Yeah, great play from Jacob on the lurk, but you feel like that's a slight mistake from fnatic, over-rotating. And though they lost both players, Crims, at least as the pit player, has to be more... has to have more caution and more awareness in that situation to watch out for that flank. Especially when playing against Rubino, he's kind of known for the lurks, at least from his time in North. So yeah, that basically lost in the round. They got punished for that over-rotation. Jacob getting a kill and then doing a lot of damage in terms.
Business as usual here for dignitas, cleaning up another doing another anti-eco.
Also, it's very interesting the approach from fnatic towards Banana, right? They only go with 2 players. They throw a incendiary that's like not too deep or too it's like in the middle of Banana. So if you push forward, they're gonna do a double nade as well, and they're gonna flash after that. But if a player is in front of the Molotov and survives the nades, he's still in a position where he can do damage. We saw that happen in the previous round. Oh, there's actually a lot of things happening. I wasn't paying attention.
Flush is just...
Take it away, Dan.
He's just destroying people PT50s, using his nades well, but does not account for Fox's position. Such a good attempt, though, from Flusher. And you can go back to talking anchor.
Yes, yeah, I knew it. I knew nothing's gonna nothing's gonna happen. But yeah, it's like an interesting way to do it without spending all of your resources, like not spending any smokes, just one Molotov, double nade, and maybe a flash. But the problem is, you can see how they're getting punished for it. Not maybe every single round, but a couple of rounds now they've been losing players, and they go back to the double op. Olof doesn't go for the full aggressive peek towards T stairs, and he's not going to find anyone just yet. You can see why fnatic in this round, they've sent actually an extra player towards B to you know, fight that early banana control from dignitas, but dignitas on the other hand have also been playing it more passive. Probably expecting fnatic to send a couple extra players, use more utility, and they just don't want to take any early damage. You can see now they go for the delayed control. And this is where it gets a bit difficult for fnatic. I mean, you have an op on B. If dignitas goes for a full execute with smokes and molotovs, there's not really that much he can do except get a couple of kills through the smokes, perhaps. And then you have an op to do the retake. That's why double op can get tricky on Inferno.
There's one angle taken away. It's a flash from the CTs into pool, then JW could push through the smoke, but I'm sure you'd rather do that with an M4 than an AWP. But it looks like they're lining up for exactly that, the flash into pool. And JW still standing in literally the same place. He's got his angle, so once the firing begins... Oh, look at that. That is absolutely perfect timing. Wait for the pre-fire. There's a flash into pool, but he'll use it to rotate. Flush with one of his own. Rubino forced to look away, and that will be enough. Surely Flush follows up, he does. Jacob now versus 4, and his luck won't get much done on this occasion.
Why? Why not use like your utility if you want to go B? What's the difference? You have Jacob aggressively lurking in apps, so he is not going to, you know, are really expecting fnatic to rotate because of one smoke on CT? Like that, why would they ever do that? So I don't know. You know that there's an op on B, why not just go into a full execute? It's going to be so much more difficult for them to defend from that than from you trying to walk in B. That's the only way the opera can get killed. Not the only one, but the easiest one.
So easy to flash over the roof as well. And get like almost everyone.
I don't understand the value of going for a dry contact play in that situation over going for a full execute. I really don't.
That's it. I mean, you even preface that double op will be probably one of the most difficult things to deal with, because that execution style is not going to be something that will come as easily to them, and being essentially, as you said, at this point still a mixed team in some regards.
But still, these are professional players who play a lot of Counter-Strike. I'm sure they know how to smoke coffins, smoke CT, molly new box, and throw a couple of flashes over.
Fox going for the crouch peek on Arch. Even with the nerfed AWP, still manages to get out pretty fast, but not fast enough. See, importantly, Croman throws his gun away before he picks up the AWP. So if an angle is being held, then they won't see. If he didn't throw his gun away first, it would have flown forward into the vision of the CTs and told them that the AWP's being picked up again. It's a small detail you don't often see in pro matches, but you see it here. The T's now moving towards the B bomb site. It's always nice to get a smoke out on these stairs as well, because you can crouch along the pool area. But there's no cover. Oh, its cover's come too late towards CT. And the shooting gallery is there. Flusher reveals his position. Now at 10 seconds, there are huge problems for Jacob. Along with the 5 fnatic players alive, back to winning ways are the Swedes.
Yeah, the momentum has been cut short, as well as the money for Dig. fnatic look pretty good to be, you know, getting a likely 10-5 scoreline here. It's a great defense from Flusher, but he has all the space and time in the world to do all these, like, to get all these frags. It's not supposed to look easy in his position. Generally speaking, I feel like when you're that anchor on the B-bomb site, but again, that push from Dignitas just did not work out as they had intended.
I mean, they are making it easy for him to an extent by not using their utility, going in late, not having good spacing either.
Yeah, very true. Ooh, nice grenade. And this will all be over soon.
The thing is as well, this is where fnatic, who obviously flourishes at playing aggressive Counter-Strike, even on the CT side, going for information plays all the time, which is good. It's fundamentally how you should play. But this is also where they probably realize, and they can just play passive against Dignitas, because if you give Dignitas map control, they are not really going to, you know, do a good job of exploiting that and punishing you for it. You can see that even when they have control of mid or control of banana, they still don't have a good way of ending the round.
Yeah, that's always I always like that ethos of just creating a situation where the opponents are going to be unable to play or make correct decisions. Yeah, and basically let them hang themselves in a sense.
And the couple of rounds that Dignitas did win was from fnatic kind of giving them an opening, going for some aggressive plays, either individually or towards banana.
So we'll see the balcony play from Dignitas. I'm going to throw 3 guys out of the balk and try to split onto quad at the same time. See if that's going to work out for them. The coordination is not always the easiest thing in the world, especially if you are walking into the crosshairs of Olofmeister. Now this is where things get problematic because, oh, wow.
That re-peek though.
Oh, you re-peek Olof, who's got an AWP with an AK there. All right, Jacob, nicely done. And Rubino's found the space now to wrap around. Arch side because Olaf is gone. So actually, that repeat is working out fantastically well for them.
Took him off to spot Crims, but he gets the kill. That's a 2 versus 3. The bomb's getting planted on short, where we've got JW on the way. He won't last very long though, and Dignitas will get a 6th round on the board. For me, that's a good score for Dignitas. I think their CT side they'll find a lot better than their T side, especially with the likes of Fox. On a map like Inferno, I think that'd be better for him. What do you think of the scoreline, Yanko?
Definitely great for Dignitas, especially considering they were down 6-0 in the first half, and that's one of those situations where you kind of just see Fnatic taking over the whole game. But because of some of those overzealous plays, Dignitas find a way back into the game. And even while Fnatic was winning rounds, they were losing a lot of players, so it was fairly easy for Dignitas to reset them after just winning a couple of rounds. So now with the pistol round, actually, Dignitas has a good chance of making this really close. And they have a man advantage early on.
This is really nice for Fnatic. Although that said, they aren't trying to push the issue. They expect there to be an additional player at B, so they don't want to rush in willy-nilly. They're going to actually back into middle, and Fox is waiting in the crawl space. He's actually just sitting there at the moment. This is quite scary. Nice flick from Croman. Again, so strong with those pistols. Great first bullet accuracy. Fox, meanwhile, has actually been discovered in the crawl space and eliminated. But 2 players left for Fnatic is what is left to do the job here. And they've chosen the A-bomb side. Olaf looking desperately searching. And he will find not one, but both players here on the bomb site. And that's going to be a nice flurry of bullets there from Fnatic to claim the site.
Rubino with it all to do. There's a kit on the site, so he's got some time. That smoke grenade will soon disappear, so he doesn't have that wall for a long time. But of course, Dennis, one of the pistol prowess boys. 3 kills in that round, putting Fnatic on double figures, and that's a very strong pistol when you have a 9.6 half. Very important pistol to get.
Yeah, this was one of those situations where if Dignitas wins the pistol round, they have a decent chance of, and convert, they have a decent chance of coming back into this game. But if Fnatic manages to do so, the game is very close to being over. But this is obviously another big round. Dignitas goes for the force, and they only have 1 flash left on Rubino, 2 players in Banana.
It's been tough, but it's interesting to me that Fnatic are just going for the apartments like this. There's so many problems there, but that said, it's not as bad as it used to be. It's much easier for the Ts these days. No bedroom to worry about and so on. So, but at the same time, these pistols are good at close ranges, and that's what the apartment's all about. And Croman, once again, converting with that deagle is something to worry about. Wow, you would have expected a double there, but the spray is not going to find its mark. Instead, a 2 versus 2 situation. This is all collapsed into calamity for Fnatic. Still a chance to save this one, especially as Fnatic has the surprise, or Flusher has the surprise on Rubino, allowing the bomb plant for Fnatic. So everything should be fine now. Tensky and a deagle. That's all he has to work with. He has no idea where these Fnatic players reside. A chance perhaps, but Olafmeister shuts it down. 11-6. Fnatic start to speed ahead.
There definitely were a couple of openings for Dignitas in that round. You could see how Fnatic was pretty spread out around the map. Even when they were actually pushing towards the bomb site, didn't use all of their utility. And it could have gotten ugly for them, but in the end, they did salvage the round with that 2v1. Dennis getting good timing on that quad push.
1 flashbang and a 5-person peek. Ooh, it starts with a team kill as well. Then the pat from the pistols gives them a brief man advantage, but JW will look to clean that up. We've got the CTs now rotating around the arch position. Even found himself the Molotov. Fox going back in isolation with the USPs. Might be an ill timing from him. Jacobs picks up an AK though. There'll be weapons to collect as Fnatic rotate to B.
That was a great reaction from JW, getting the call that it's a stack mid. They flashed in, and he realizes he probably has at most 1 player to deal with. And still, it wasn't as clean. You would expect Fnatic to close out the round after that. They got control of short, but JW was challenging a bit too much. Dies, loses the AK, and that gives Fnatic information that both players are towards A. They could just run B, plant the bomb, but they're still losing a lot of players. They will obviously have a healthy buy, but they don't have, you know, as we see it sometimes, 5,000 or 6,000 in the bank coming into the first gun round, and where they can just play super aggressive and not get punished for it. Still gonna play aggressive,
Oh yeah.
regardless of the economy, because that's Fnatic. But yeah,
Ooh, Fox. He bought on the force buy, at least to see Zebs. So he is $100 shy of an AWP, and they have half the score of their opponent.
this game is like, he has 4,600 and he goes for the UMP. That tells you something's wrong with the game. Like, when you have enough money for an M4, Kevlar, smoke, flashes, and an 8, I think, and you still go for the UMP, that's like, please.
It's a good sign.
Please.
Well, the aggressive play into the apartments
enough.
will reward a quick frag onto Fox. Fox perhaps biting off far more than he can chew in those enclosed spaces.
I don't know how Fox is ever starting the buy round without an AWP for his team.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think, Jacob? You're an AWP, right? Like, does Fox always have an AWP? I mean, maybe they've taken more gambles because of the scoreline, but surely, like, you need Fox to be on.
Yeah, I agree that he should have probably saved to get the off, but it also depends on the preference of a player. Nowadays, for example, I never like going glass cannon. You always feel like, because the aim punch is so bad, if you just get slightly tagged through something, there's no way pretty much you can get the kill. Also, a nade can do a lot of damage to you.
I don't think you can go glass cannon on this map on CT.
Yeah, so that's the issue with it. Even if he had like $100, it would still be glass cannon. It's a question how much value he will get out of it. I think he should, to answer your question actually, I think he should have ecoed and then just had an off.
Well, we have a very limited buy here for dignitas. Just grabbing some pistols, trying to get some value out of this round. fnatic looking to just bust open banana, and that is exactly what they will do. Just one player left. It's a brief one, and that's going to be another round for fnatic. 14-6 now, converting on a weak dignitas, who can now find themselves once again in a position of buying.
All of saying a good game.
27 kills so far. Fox is not, though. I feel like he must have made a mistake, like a miscalculation or something. Sitting there with 46.
Was he the player who bought the flash?
No, I think that was Croman. But he bought a I think he bought a CZ on the force buy.
Yeah, they all bought Kevlar, right?
Yeah. I think that for me that's like one thing. Like, he should have an AWP. Like, buy a round of UMP. Just why? I could be there with the UMP. Off to a good start with the AWP. That's why Fox is in that position.
It's quite a good angle as well. I don't think they'll ever really expect him to be right there, and he's going to continue to cause problems. He's repositioned towards library side and got another kill for his team. So fnatic now are in sort of a desperate position. The only thing they have going for them is, okay, they did get one kill. The defense of dignitas is very passive, which does allow fnatic a lot of free movement on the map. So that is at least something for them to work with here in. Looks like they're going to set their sights on the A bomb sites. Will be tough though, but at least there's only one player on the pit position. It's Regino. Fox catching another frag. Fox absolutely crushing this round so far. What else can he do?
Oh, he's tagged Dennis, looking for the aces, Fox. And he can buy time for his team as well. Yeah, that's too much. His other teammates are still top mid at the moment, so I think some well-timed aggression could put people out of position. But here we are, 2 players on the short area for the CTs, and it's a crossfire from fnatic. JW's got a lot to do, a lot of work though, because Dennis has got 13 HP, but if anyone can, surely Dennis can. There's the first head, Jacob to pick up the last 2. Surely someone will rescue the AWP as well, and that's why you don't want Fox starting with a UMP in the first buy round.
Still though, it really felt like, to me, that they should have lost the round after that, like a very aggressive peek from Fox. He's not waiting for his teammates. after he'd done a great job. Oh, a Bison. He bought a Bison.
Yeah, that was a bit of a Superman effect, but great round from Fox, 3 kills, 2 assists. And it shows you how powerful it is to have a player just move around with the op, right? He gets a kill in apartments, moves away towards Arch, and that keeps the opponents guessing all the time. Olofmeister there's another molly for 3, so he will stay alive for now.
Yeah, it's interesting. Oh no, it was the other side. Fnatic. They had the.
Oh, hello.
dear. That's not good.
Oh my god.
What can you say about that one?
Oh my god. In the face. He's just going to keep going. Why not? Why not? Just catch the rotations. Here he goes. And number 4. Easiest ace of his life if he gets it. Easiest 4 kills so far. Fox has something to say about it though, but looks like he's going to try to save this. Olof knows where he is now though. He's coming. He's coming for Fox. Trying to bait the shot there, using the barrel of the gun. But Fox he's long gone from that position.
He really wants that ace.
He really wants it.
But Flusher can't. He's too dangerous, man. If you see Fox, just kill Fox. What a way to crush around.
I mean, that's not a problem for Dignitas, right? You commit 3 players to that banana control and you don't molly off the tree. I mean, at least if you don't do it, you need to kind of have the presence of mind that a player might be there. And it looked like they were trying to shoulder pick it, but still better to use a nade, a flash, something. Olof is just having one of those games, isn't he? This is some 2016/15 best player in the world type of a performance from him.
Yeah, he is absolutely going off at the moment. I think he's got to be above 30 frags now. Probably pushing 35.
And that's only in like 23 rounds.
Yeah, so this has been a non-game for Dignitas, I think it's fair to say. I can't get over the lack of warp on the buy round though. I just don't understand. That's got to be a mistake. But anyway, Olofmeister with 32 kills at the moment. And another solid victory for Fnatic. Another one in the bag, another one for the statistics.
And there it is. 16-7. It's come to a close on map 1. There were some hiccups here and there for Fnatic, but you can see that in the end, they were consistently coming out quite ahead.
Yeah, well, a big problem for Dignitas.